In the crazy and unpredictable world of hockey, determining a player's season based off of just 10 games seems as reliable as ordering a jersey off Fanatics does. But man, it's gotta feel different for Philipp Kurashev. Kurashev is on a heater for the Blackhawks right now. He's currently on a 5-game point streak. He is the second best scorer on the team, with 12 points in 12 games, just behind Bedard. And right now, he's on pace to shatter his career best 25 points. It's easy to continue to talk about just how good he has been playing with Connor Bedard on the top line this year, but it's time that we're going to take it up a notch and discuss why he is succeeding, and why I think he could be a big part of the Blackhawks moving forward. And this is what I've noticed in Kurashev's game from this season. So in previous seasons, Blackhawks management thought Kurashev was one of those players that could play on any line. In the same way management thought that you could put anybody on Kane's line and they would produce, they also thought you could put Kurashev on any line and he would produce. According to former head coach Derek King, back in 2020, the Blackhawks always wanted Kurashev to be a top 6 forward, but he never got consistent opportunities. And when he did, the team was only sometimes impressed. He could put together 4 points in 5 games, and then he would just disappear for those next 6 games. King mentioned that Kurashev had to improve his work ethic, but that is what made him intriguing. At times, he could produce and score like an NHL veteran, but when he was cold, he was hardly noticeable. So how could the Blackhawks unlock this hidden talent on a more consistent basis? Besides the fact that he's a young player, something that could have contributed to him being so streaky is the Blackhawks have always used him around the lineup. His versatility is an asset, but for him it may have affected him. The Blackhawks never really knew what to do with Kurashev last year. They would always have him all around the lineup. He would always be on the third line, the first line, to the second line, back to the third line, and it seemed like he played wherever the wind blew. Last season they started him on the third line with Jason Dickinson and Sam Lafferty, eventually moving him to a top 6 role. He had the Kane effect last season, and played well with everybody, but shined on the top line with Kane and Max Domi, and later on that season, Lukas Reichel and Andreas Athanasiou. There's been some crazy adjustments I've had to make all the time, Kurashev said. It's been an up and down season, but overall it's going to make me an overall better player, so I could be put in any situation in the game. It's been maybe a little frustrating, but in the long run it's going to help me, and I want to help the team get through this rebuild and start winning again. Now fast forward to this season and Kurashev is looking like a completely different player. Kurashev missed the first 6 games due to a wrist injury he suffered in the preseason. Although head coach Luke Richardson started him on the third line to get his feet wet, when he returned, he was quickly placed on the top line with Bedard and Nick Foligno, now Lukas Reichel. He's had a solid line mate and role, which has likely made him more comfortable. His frustrations of being used everywhere made a lot of sense, and he was probably never able to get a solid rhythm going, and now he has. Last season was a contract year for Kurashev, and although there weren't intense worries that he wouldn't return, contract years can linger on the back of players' minds, and it's hard not to. Although Kurashev had a career year in points, you never know what direction management will go in, and the Blackhawks management under general manager Kyle Davidson have shown to be fearless and bold at times when making trades, and there was no doubt Kurashev earned a new contract, but it was a lengthy process that might have been on his mind and distracting him from last year's on-ice play. One thing you can definitely notice from Kurashev is he's having fun. He's playing every game with a massive grin on his face. The saying in sports go, results usually follow when you play loose and fun. It's hard not to have fun when you're playing with Bedard. They've clicked since day one. It also helps that their production has been lights out. The Nick Foligno, Connor Bedard, and Philipp Kurashev line, when they were together, created the most goals and scoring chances and high danger chances on the team. Even with Reichel replacing Foligno, they've still connected for a goal in each game that line has been assembled. Kurashev also looks like a more confident player now. He went through streaks the past years where he would hesitate on plays. Now he's a threat every time he's on the ice, it seems. Everything is going right to him and for him. Whether it's a scoring chance for himself or setting up one of his teammates, have been really impressed playing with him too. Bedard calling him unreal and Foligno mentioning how he loves his motor and no fear play. and head coach Luke Richardson has even called him their best all-around player at times. And his numbers on both ends of the ice are looking very promising. He has his highest career shooting percentage right now with 33.3%, which is also a team best, and he's averaging his career high in ice time of 18 minutes and 44 seconds a night. Kurashev is also only a -1. I know -1 isn't good, but on a team like the Blackhawks, it's incredible, showing his defensive growth as well. His speed, skill, and hockey IQ have been evident this year. Kurashev also talked about wanting to prove to the Blackhawks that he belonged here after getting his new contract, and the Blackhawks have always trusted his game, even during the cold stretches. Now he is proving them right. He's also proved himself right when he said his experience through the lineup would make him a better player, and he's been one of their most important players this season. Unafraid, confident, a true threat to his opponents. Hopefully this new Kurashev is here to stay.